guys, we are in the car right now. So Scott is driving, so he's not going to look at the camera all that much. But we went down to South Florida, where Scott is originally from, and saw some of his family just for like Saturday, and today is Sunday. And so we are driving back to Orlando / Central Florida right now. And a video that I kind of wanted to film, or something I want to talk about while we're in the car for a little bit of time right now. A few of you have requested for us to talk about some of the nicer areas in Central Florida. So a few of you have asked me or told me that you're looking to move to Central Florida, and what are a couple of the areas that we would recommend. Now, some of you might know that we did recently buy a house in Central Florida, and we don't want to like divulge exactly where we live, but we do live in Central Florida. And since we did a lot of research when looking for houses and looking at where we want to live, because we did that research, we kind of figured out like where are a few of our favorite places that we really looked at when we were shopping. So Scott, do you want to chime in? Like, what are a few of your favorite areas in Central Florida?
Well, when we were looking for housing, I originally started looking in Davenport because it was very reasonably priced. The only problem with Davenport is there's not a whole lot down there. It's developing, but it's got a long way to go. So
yeah.
So if you are looking for something that's inexpensive, that's nice, Davenport's where you should go. And then we also looked at Claremont and Winter Garden. Winter Garden's a pretty poppin' place right now. It's kind of got that old town feel, and it's like pretty local. There's not a lot of tourism. And because of that, it increased the value of everything. So it was, things there are a little more pricey. Claremont is kind of in between in terms of like price and niceness. It's in between Winter Garden and Davenport. It's more developed. It's been getting more developed over the last few years. And it also, in certain areas, has that, small town, local kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
So we really like Claremont.
I was going to say we really liked both Claremont, or we really like both Claremont and Winter Garden because of what Scott's saying. They both have a little bit of that, like, old town or small town like feel to them. They both have like downtown type of areas where there are shops and restaurants and kind of like a main street type of feel. And we like that in a community because it's a place where a lot of like community members can go and just, meet one another and just shop and kind of come together, and there's like always something to do. They have like weekly activities and things, especially for families. Both Claremont and Winter Garden both have a farmer's market, correct? I think on like different days or just on the weekends or whatever. But that's something that we like. But yes, Davenport, like Scott said, is one that's really, really like super being developed right now. So it's kind of like in that first stage of development still, and then Claremont's kind of in the middle of being developed, whereas Winter Garden has kind of, I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but it's like been around longer. So it has been developed, and Winter Garden has a lot of the like, it kind of has something for everybody, would you say? Like it has a lot of the different price ranges.
Which one?
Winter Garden?
Oh.
Does it have like apartments and condos and houses?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
So I mean, it has something for everyone in everyone's price range, but like Scott said, we found it was very popular right now, so it was hard to like find something because it's a place that a lot of people want to live right now. That was what we found, at least. And then one that I wanted to add to your list of places you mentioned was just kind of Orlando in general. Right next to SeaWorld is where I grew up, and I like that area a lot because it is, it's very much a city type of area. If I'm just describing it in like my own opinion, it's very much a city. But I always loved that growing up because there's everything you could possibly need. There's every type of food, every type of shopping, store, restaurant, movie theater. I mean, just like the house I grew up in is like a stone's throw from like 3 movie theaters alone. So that's something that I kind of look for and put value in, is like I like to live in an area where there's so much to do, and I think just Central Florida in general definitely has that. But like the city of Orlando, I really like for just the variety and how many choices it has. But I think these other places we were talking about are in general like smaller towns, so maybe they don't have as much to do, but then when you kind of like expand out to like general Orlando, I think there's more to do. And then would you agree that kind of like crime goes up when you have that too? Just like in a bigger city, there's more to do, there's more people, but there's also like more crime, I think.
Yeah, that happens. The other one is Windermere. Now, obviously, if you know anything about Central Florida, Windermere is much more upper class. So things start to get into the higher digits for those homes. And I don't know in terms of entertainment, aside from the fact that it's like right behind Magic Kingdom. I've heard mixed reviews about kind of the, you know, what there is to do in Windermere, and I've heard it's not really a whole lot, but the houses are nice, and the area is really nice, but again, there's a higher price point for that area.
Yeah. I think it would have been really cool if we could have like bought a house right behind Magic Kingdom, especially since I work there. That would have been awesome. But we're really happy with the place that we ended up picking, and the area, and just the area that we live in now is definitely, it is developing, and we're happy with what's coming and the changes that are coming. And we're still in the area that we live in, just like I keep saying, we're still in the general Central Florida area, so I feel like we're in a good location, that we are close enough to Disney, close enough to Universal, close enough to a lot of other activities, just like touristy things like the Orlando Eye and iDrive, and just so much that we have to do and have to offer here in Central Florida. And we haven't gone to the beach yet since we moved, but definitely still here in Florida, you're always close to a beach, so that's a plus. That's another thing to think about if you're a beach person. And then most of Scott's family lives down in South Florida, whereas mine is, well, like my parents are both still in Central Florida, but Scott's family is down in South Florida, so we're only like a 3 to 4 hour drive away from where his parents live, so you know, it is quite a drive, but at least it's not like a whole flight away if we want to ever drive down for a weekend to go see them.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add about like living in Central Florida or Florida?
It's really nice, and for people that haven't been to Florida before, you come in the summertime, it's really hot, and people are always like, how the heck do you live here? And the reason is because of the very short winter that we have, because it's really hot in the summer, but from like January through April-ish, maybe some days in December and November, it's really nice. And you don't want to be anywhere but outside, sitting out there just enjoying it. Yes, we have the rain during the summer, but it's a great state to live in. Lots to do, lots to see, and
Disney most importantly.
obviously Disney, biggest thing. Yeah.
We were just joking like yesterday or this morning about how we couldn't really move far. Or if we moved, we'd have to move to California because we'd have to be close to another Disney park. We couldn't live in like the central U.S.
Yeah.
But that's just us because we have always lived in Florida, always been close to Disney, and now we of course work at Disney. So it's our jobs. It's not really, we don't really plan to move far from a Disney park anytime in the near future. I think that's just about it. I hope I answered any questions that some of you guys may have had. If any of you out there watching this video have any like places you want to add to my list or any comments you want to add, I'd love to hear them. So make sure you just leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear your opinions or any other areas. Like, I certainly am not an expert about every place in Florida. So if you have any other places you want to add, just leave me a comment down below. And we will see you in our next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
Bye.